Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra section 9.2 notes. Today we're talking about function notation. Our learning target today is to be able to evaluate a function for a given value, to be able to add, subtract, and multiply two functions. So function notation. Function notation is a form of writing the equation of a function. And that can look like two separate things. So, well, it can look like many different things, but we got two examples below. Now, it says that f of x equals 2x plus 1. So the only thing that's really different right now is that beginning part. Okay, in that beginning part, the way we say that is that that is a function f of x. So that part in the yellow, that's what that means, f of x, function f of x. Okay, and we got another example, the one in the green right there. We would say that that is a function, and that function is g of x. So the only new part is that part in the very beginning. Okay, let's look at an example. Now, number one says to evaluate the function for the given domain value. Okay, so what that means is there's our x, and they're saying if f of x equals 1/3 x squared plus 11, find the value of f of -6. What this means is we have to plug in. Okay, so when we are plugging in, we're plugging in -6. That equals 1/3 -6 squared plus 11. So wherever there was an x, that's where I'm plugging in my -6. Okay? And for that, you can just plug it all in your calculator, or you can do it step by step. Okay? Let's plug it into our calculators. So here we go. We have, I have to do my 1/3 in parentheses, so we have 1/3 times, make sure that you put your -6 inside the parentheses, square it, and then plus 11. And you'll get what the answer is, and the answer is 23. Okay, notice how we have the f of -6 in our answer. That's telling us because we're plugging that in. Okay, the next one we're plugging in g of 2. And wherever there's an x, that's what we're plugging into. Now this one you might not need a calculator, because 3 times 2 is 6. -12 plus 6 is -6. Okay, number 3. h of x is 1/4 and to the x power, and they want us to find the value of h of -3. So we have h of -3 equals 1/4, and wherever that x is, that's where we're plugging in, okay? So let's show how to do this one in your calculator. We have 1/4, and that's being raised, excuse me, sorry. So it's being raised to the -3rd power. And plug it in, and we get that h of -3 equals 64. All right, number 4, why don't you see if you can do number 4 on your own. Go ahead and pause the video, and good luck. Okay, and when you plug that into your calculator, you should get that f of 0 is -1. If you didn't get that, come in for help. Okay, so these next ones, we need to find the value of the function. So f of -1. So if this is what we plug in, this is what x is. So when x is -1, what's our answer? So when f is -1, our answer is a +1. And we just got it because that is the point. Let's try another one. G of 3, remember that this is x. So at 3, which is right there, and that's actually where our point is too, where is that point? That point is at 0. This point was at 1. Okay? Let's look at number 7. H of 0, remember that's our x value. So here is 0. What's that point at? All you gotta do is tell me what that point is. Well, it's not 1, it's not 2, it looks like it's right in the middle. So that is 1.5. Okay? So what I want you to do is see if you can do 8, 9, and 10. Go ahead and pause the video, and good luck. Okay, and you should have gotten 1, -1, and -2.5. So what I'm doing on all of mine is I am kind of writing down where -2 is. I'm writing down where -1, writing down -3, and then find the dot. Find out that point. Find out what that value is. Okay? If you need help on that, come see Ms. Carranza or myself. Otherwise, let's go ahead and flip it over. So now we're doing operations with functions. Okay? The first one that we're going to talk about is addition, then we'll talk about subtraction, and then multiplication. So let's look at a addition. It's saying that we have to take f of x, which is my yellow function, and I'm going to add it to g of x, which is my blue function. So let's write down our yellow, the f of x. F of x was the 8 minus 2x plus 3x squared. That was everything that was in the yellow. And I'm going to add that to the blue one, which is the x squared minus 7x plus 1. So we're going to combine these two things together. Well, how do I do that? Well, to get rid of parentheses, I need to distribute, and I need to distribute what's outside. Well, Mr. Grice, there's nothing outside. Well, technically there is. Remember, there's a +1. If there's no symbol, it's a +1, and everything stays the same. So we have 8 minus 2x plus 3x squared plus x squared minus 7x plus 1. And now we need to combine like terms. So my x squares, we're going to combine those. Our x's, and then our other ones, the 8 and the 1. So 3x squared plus x squared gives us a grand total of 4x squared. That's our blue. Negative 2x minus 7x in the pink, that gives us minus 9x. And the yellow, 8 plus 1 gives us 9. Okay, so once again, these are the colors of all of the numbers and how we kind of combine them. Okay. Now, our next one, we have the g of x, which is in the blue, and the h of x, which is in the pink. Okay, so if you're coming back up to the top, those are those two equations. Okay, I'm going to zoom back down here so you guys can kind of just see the work. So the g of x is the x squared minus 7x plus 1, and we're going to add that with h of x, which is the minus 5x plus 9. So remember, that was our pink and that was our blue. And when we distribute, remember, we're distributing a positive 1, nothing changes. So it's x squared minus 7x plus 1 minus 5x plus 9. So right now I'm going to try and find my like terms. There's no other squared term. They're my linears and my constant terms. So our final answer, we have x squared. In the pink, we have negative 12x plus 10. And that's all we have to do. Okay? So once again, we added up the yellows. And there's everything. Now let's deal with subtraction. So I have f of x minus g of x. So there's my yellow minus my blue. So first thing we have to do is write them down. So we have 8 minus 2x plus 3x squared minus the g of x, which is x squared minus 7x plus 1. So remember, if it's a positive, we distribute a positive 1, and guess what? Everything stays the same. But on the back, we're distributing a negative 1. Everything changes, guys. A negative times a positive is a negative x squared. Negative 1 times negative 7 is a positive 7x. And negative 1 times, oh, sorry, I forgot to draw the 1, times positive 1 is negative 1. Okay? And then we do the same thing. We have to combine our like terms. Okay, so when we're combining our blue, the 3x squared minus x squared gives us 2x squared. The pink, negative 2x plus 7x is a positive 5x. And then 8 minus 1 is a positive 7. Once again, if you want to see the colors of how we got everything, that's what we combined. All right. And remember, guys, order matters when we're doing subtraction. Okay, so we have the same two functions, but now we just flipped the order around. So let's write the g of x, which was the x squared plus, or was that minus? Minus 7x, sorry about that. So minus 7x plus 1, and we're subtracting the 8 minus 2x plus 3x squared. Okay, so remember our first one stays the same. That was our blue function, our g of x. But everything in the back, our numbers stay the same. But when we distribute a negative to a positive, that's a negative. A negative to a negative, that's a positive. A negative to a positive, that's a negative. Okay? And then we need to go through and find all of our like terms. So x squared, we're writing this in standard form. So x squared plus 3x squared, or x squared minus 3x squared, sorry about that. We get negative 2x squared. Negative 7x plus 2x gives us a negative 5x. And 1 minus 8 gives us negative 7. Okay, and I'll color code everything once again for you guys. That's where we're getting all that information. Okay, and then the last one was multiplication. Okay, so find -6 h of x. So what that means is I am multiplying a -6 to whatever the h of x is, and that is a -5x plus 9. Okay, so for here, all we have to do is distribute. So -6 times -5 gives us a positive 30x. And then -6 times positive 9 is a negative 54. Okay. h of x. So we have h of x times g of x. So our h of x was the -5x plus 9. And we're going to times that by x squared minus 7x plus 1. And that is however you want to organize it, okay? Whenever I'm multiplying things this large, I like to use the box method. Okay, I have a binomial times a trinomial, -5x plus 9, and then we have x squared minus 7x plus 1. Okay, so -5x times x squared gives me -5x cubed. -5x times -7x gives us positive 35x squared. -5x times 1 gives me -5x. 9 times x squared gives us positive 9x squared. 9 times -7 gives us -63x. And then 9 times 1 gives us positive 9. And then all we have to do is combine our like terms. Okay? Okay, and our final answer would be -5x cubed plus 44x squared minus 68x plus 9. Okay? And if you need, that was the 9. There's our linear terms. There's our quadratic terms. And then the gray was all by itself, the cubic term. All right, so let's see what this is asking us to do. So perform the indicated operation for the given functions. Okay, so we have f of x, and then we have h of x. So the first one says to take h of x and subtract it to f of x. So I like to organize everything. So h of x is 3x squared minus 10. And I'm going to subtract the 2x squared minus x plus 8. Okay? I'm going to pause the video and you guys are going to be all on your own for this. Good luck. Okay, so just remember that when it's subtraction, you have to distribute a -1 to the back. Okay? And that's why all of my signs were different. And then when we combine it, we get x squared plus x minus 18. Okay, now for 12. 12, it shows that we're multiplying. And you're multiplying the 2x squared minus x plus 8 and you're timesing that by 3x squared minus 10, okay? Because that's the pink times the yellow. Okay, and remember, you can set this up however you want to. If you want to do the box method, okay, or if you just want to distribute, however you want to do it. Okay, go ahead and pause the video, and good luck. Okay, and then you get 6x to the fourth minus 3x to the third plus 4x squared plus 10x minus 80. You guys had to be really careful when you're combining your like terms on that one. Now, if you need any extra help, you need to come see Miss Carranza or myself. We would love to help you out. Your homework is the 9.2 practice down here. Okay. Otherwise, this is Mr. Grice signing off for Algebra Unit 9.2 Notes. Thanks for watching.